Camping in Roswell, take 25.
In this video, we're coming to you from Trailer RV Park in Roswell, New Mexico. It's got high wind warnings today. We were supposed to leave today and travel eastward towards Texas, but because of the high winds, we went to the office and asked if we could stay another day. And I am very grateful for all the effort that the young lady did in the store in order to accommodate our request. She had to move a lot of things around, but better safe than sorry. We're here in a nice safe place as the wind blows and blows and blows. Speaking of the store, they have the cutest little gift shop here at the RV park. Grandpa, did you make a new friend? What do you see?
I don't know what the hell he's looking at. Maybe the flag is just tangled up.
Oh, maybe someone needs to go fix that. The alien depot.
I need a picture.
Oh, there's your friend. He matches your shirt.
He's not a he, it's a she.
Oh. Let's go in the store and check it out. Hot dog bandana. You think Peanut would look cute in that? I know a little granddaughter look cute in pink socks. Wait, Sasquatch knows the aliens? We're going to make really good use of our time now that we're here an extra day. And I'm going to get caught up on a little bit of laundry. And I thought it'd be a good day to do some baking. And today is going to be apple crisp. And no, I'm not just dropping the peelings on the floor behind the counter. There's a wastebasket back here in one of those pull-out drawers. A little bit about the apple crisp recipe. It's just one I found online. But I do a few edits just to make it more to our liking. It starts with 6 apples, and it's supposed to be in a 9 by 9 inch pan. This pan is more like, I don't know, 7 by 11, but it works really good. I actually like it to spread out a little more, so it's not quite as thick. There again, personal preference. We also tend to cut down a little bit on the sugar. One of the first things we did while we were here was the UFO museum. But before we get to the museum, we decided to wash the truck. Surprised by the city of Roswell. I kind of expected it to be just kind of a dot on the map, just kind of a dusty ghost town, western town. It actually is quite a little city. It has a Walmart and a Target and a Home Depot. Roswell originally was a place that cowboys stopped to water their cattle on a cattle drive in the 1870s and 1880s. What Roswell is known most for now, these days, is the 1947 incident, which was a crash landing of a UFO in a field nearby. And we learned a lot about it in the museum. What I found most interesting about the museum is that it tried to actually capture the facts. It had some fun stuff and, you know, pretend aliens and all of that. But they actually had printed out and they had videos of the affidavits of the people who were first on the scene. And it was interesting because the affidavits were, yeah, it was some sort of strange ship we've never seen before, and yeah, there were some sort of beings inside, and then later on, once the government got involved, the affidavits changed, and I found that very interesting. Another thing I thought was kind of cool about the museum was that it had its own library attached. It had books and videos you could check out, and then it also had a room just full of files of documentation, and that's what it looks like to save information before there were computers.
Warning. Massive nuclear event detected. Proceed with caution.
It was July 1945 when the U.S. Army conducted the first detonation of a nuclear weapon at the Trinity site in southeastern New Mexico. The explosion's destructive power was comparable to about 22 kilotons of TNT. This event sent a message to the entire galaxy. You are not alone.
New objective. Investigate nuclear event. Warp travel engaged. 3, 2, 1.
Finally got all the apples peeled. Now for the fun stuff. We just coat the apples with a little bit of sugar. Now the recipe says to use 2 tablespoons of sugar. I tend to just use 1. And it also depends on what kind of apples. These are not really baking apples. They're kind of sweet. I'm just going to put 1 in. Plus we try to kind of avoid extra sugar if we don't need it, right? And then a dash of cinnamon. Yeah, that looks good. Grandpa likes cinnamon, so there's never too much cinnamon. We just give that a little stir. And normally, a lot of times, I just do that right in the pan. Because in this kitchen, if there's no unnecessary dishes. Not only because we need to save water, but because Grandma hates dishes. All right, let's throw those in the pan. And here's where I'll judge if I have enough apples. Oh yeah, I have got enough apples. Yeah, that's plenty. That's going to be deep. And like I said before, I kind of like it shallow, so you got, you know, more crisp to apple ratio. But this will work. This is all right. So now we build the crisp. And save dishes, right? No unnecessary dishes in this kitchen. Now the recipe says to use a whole cup of brown sugar, 3/4 flour, 3/4 oats. But Grandma likes things simple. We're just going to do 3/4 of each, and that way it cuts down on the sugar and cuts down on a measuring cup. So 3/4 cup of flour. Now in some recipes it is particular. You need to measure perfectly, level it off. This is a crumble topping. You can't really go wrong. It's oats, sugar, and butter. There is no right or wrong. So we got 3/4 flour. Yeah, 3/4-ish oats. And then 3/4 sugar. And like I said, the original recipe said a full cup of brown sugar. We're going to go with a 3/4 cup firmly packed, which just means push it in there, right? Done. And a little more cinnamon in the topping. I usually give that a little stir. And then we add our butter. You take a whole stick or half a cup of butter, a lot of butter, and then it's supposed to be cold from the fridge. I cut it up in little pieces to start with since I don't have a pastry blender on board. I used to have a pastry blender. Somehow it never made it on board the RV. So I like to give it a head start by cutting it up first. And then I'm just going to use a fork and try to mush it in. And I forgot my fork. And And what this, you try to get the butter pea-sized. And that's just so you don't have a big clump of butter in one spot, no butter in another. You just want it evenly dispersed. So, while I cut up butter, we will show you some video and talk a little bit about a little hike or a little walk we went on in the Bottomless Lakes State Park. And it's a chain of 7 lakes in the park. I think there might be a total of 9. And they're called bottomless because back in the cowboy day when they were watering their cattle, right? Remember that? They would drop their rope into the lake and they never hit bottom. So it, got the nickname Bottomless Lake. They're not bottomless. The deepest one is 90 feet deep. Be a good place for a cougar to live, don't you think? Yeah, kitty, kitty, kitty. Yeah, kitty, kitty, kitty. Got back in the truck, went a little further into the park, and found a pavilion at Lee Lake. And I was just so surprised. It looked just like the pavilion at Devil's Lake State Park, where we have our family's Christmas in July. It had a beautiful old pavilion, and it was built in 1933 by the CCC, the Civil Conservation Corps, during the Great Depression. And this was one of the jobs they gave the men who needed the work, and they built this beautiful old pavilion.
Bring your suit, Grandma?
No. Did you bring your suit, Grandpa?
Birthday.
Ooh, let's see the birthday suit.
Nope. Nobody wants that.
I worked on it and worked on it with my fork. They are not exactly pea size, but it's going to work for today. I think I may need to find room for a pastry blender. Or afterwards I thought, oh, I do have a small food processor. Would work perfect for this. What's done is done. Let's put the crumble topping on the apples. Whoa, that's a lot of topping. Holy cow. Just kind of level it out. This is going to be a really deep dish apple crisp. I don't normally do this. So we'll learn together how it turns out and if we like it this way. Try to spread my butter clumps around a little bit because they're the biggest peas you ever saw. Just kind of spread the butter. Give it a little pat. I got the oven warming up to 350. I think we're about there. We're going to stick it in the oven and see what happens. Well, I got a load of wash running in the laundry room. The crisp is in the oven. I wanted to tell you a little bit about this really cool place that was about a block down from the museum called the Alien Zone. And all it was this huge room, actually 2 rooms, full of photo ops with aliens. It's just one little area after another area of just really cool ways to take a picture of an alien. Check it out.
Grandma, what you doing?
What? Waiting for lunch.
What kind of meat is it?
I don't know, there's nothing on there yet.
I'm kind of scared.
I think the crisp is done.
Why do I smell apples and cinnamon?
Oh, Grandpa. It's apple crisp.
Is that for me?
So why don't you tell us a little bit about where we had dinner last night?
Stick a fork in it.
We got him where we had dinner. What was the name of the restaurant?
It's not a restaurant.
Oh, what was it? Yeah, you're right. It's
a-
not a restaurant.
Blackcock Brewery and
And
Bar.
before you start giggling, cock is a name for a male chicken.
Yeah. Get your mind out of the gutter.
It was a brewery, and the food actually came from a food truck. Right?
And I had their triple berry hard cider, and Mom had the pineapple hard cider.
I don't like beer, but this pineapple cider was so cold and refreshing. I actually really enjoyed it. The berry was good too. Which one did you like better?
Yours.
The pineapple? The berry was good too. The pineapple just had that, I don't know, kind of a crisp taste. It was just really good. And then the food came from the truck, and we both had burgers, but mine was a little different than Grandpa's. You'll have to watch the video. And then we'll come back and eat this when it's cooler.
Maybe I'll eat that while you're doing laundry. You bet the spaceship.